All right, here are some practice problems for our quiz on congruent triangles. In number 1, we have triangle CFE congruent to triangle PTR. Complete each of the following statements. Well, since CE is first and third, we need to do side PR because I need the first and third letters. So TR, those are the second and third letters, would correspond to FE, side FE. Letter C, side CF, those are the first and second letters, so that's corresponding to side PT. D, angle P is first, so I need the first angle in the other name, angle C. Angle E is last, so that corresponds to angle R. Angle F is in the middle, so that corresponds to angle T. Triangle RPT, let's see, they went last letter, first letter, second letter. So that's going to correspond to triangle. The last letter is E, the first letter is C, and the second letter is F. Triangle FEC, they started in the middle of the triangle name and they went to the end and then back to the beginning. So FEC, that triangle is congruent to TRP. And last, triangle RTP. RTP is the second triangle written backwards. So that's going to be congruent to the first triangle written backwards. So that would be EFC. So remember, the big deal here is that order matters. Number 2, triangle DEF is congruent to triangle GJH. Find its missing measure. Remember, when it says measure, you want numbers for your answers. All right, the length of DF. DF is first and third, so DF corresponds to GH. And GH is, it's really hard to see, I can't make it bigger, is 16 meters, I think. All right, JH corresponds to EF, and EF is 14 meters. GJ corresponds to DE, and DE is labeled 19 meters. The measure of angle F is the same as the measure of angle H, and angle H is labeled 100 and I think it's an 8 degrees. The measure of angle G is the same as the measure of angle D, and D is labeled 34 degrees. J corresponds to E, and we don't know E, right? So what we have to do is use the fact that these two triangles are identical. So I'm going to add 108 and 34. Which is 142, and then I'm going to take 142 from 180, and I get 38 degrees. Remember, the sum of angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. Sum equals 180. That's for a triangle. The next one, given triangle RWS congruent to triangle TUV, find the values of x and y. Okay, so my expression involving x is right there. And that happens to be at angle R. R corresponds to T because they're both first. Angle T is not given. So let's see, can I figure it out? I can. Take a look at angle W. Angle W is a right angle, and W corresponds to U. That means U is a right angle. So if U is a right angle, then it's 90 degrees. Angle, what letter is that? V, angle V is 29 degrees. When I add those together, I get 119 degrees. And then using the fact that the angles have to add up to 180, I'm just going to find out my difference, which is 61 degrees. So this 8x minus 27 equals 61. Now I'm going to add 27 to both sides. 61 plus 27 is 88. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 8, which gives me 11. So that's the value of x. Now the y expression is 3y plus 7, and it's on side VT. VT corresponds to SR, and SR is labeled with a 25. Now I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. 25 minus 7 is 18. Now I divide by 3. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So x is 11 and y is 6. All right, next page. For part A, determine whether the triangles are congruent by side, 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 or side, angle, side. If not congruent, write not congruent. If congruent, write a congruency statement for part B. All right, my two triangles in number 4 are touching in the middle, right? Which means that they share a side. So that side is congruent to itself. So in part A, they are congruent. So I'm going to write yes. If congruent, the congruency statement would look like this. Okay, it's yes by side, 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 because I have 3 pairs of matching sides. The congruency statement is going to look like this. Triangle PRQ is congruent to triangle. Let's see. P goes with P because they share that vertex as well. And then I need to go out to S and then back along to Q. So there's my congruency statement. In number 5, part A, okay, I need to figure out if I have some kind of congruence. Now notice that my third side of my 2 triangles does not have any tick marks. We're not allowed to put tick marks there because we have absolutely no justification for saying that those sides are also congruent. Now we do have some angles. We know that this angle on the left side of Z is congruent to the angle to the right side of Z because those are vertical angles. But now I have side-side angle, SSA. Remember, that's the statement that's a real but, right? That's my joke, SSA. And it does not guarantee congruence. So the answer here is no. And the reason it's no is because we have a side followed by a side followed by an angle. And so we don't write a congruency statement at all for that one. Number 6, notice these are both right triangles. So all we need for a right triangle is hypotenuse leg. Now let's see here. We do have a leg for sure, but the hypotenuse, y'all, is the side that's not labeled. And I don't think we're going to be able to get that. Yeah, we can. Here's why. Because they share the other leg, and because by Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So those 2 hypotenuses or hypotenuses are going to also be the same. So the answer here is yes. And the way we know is the postulate called hypotenuse leg. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DBC. Remember, you have to make sure you've got the matching parts together, And you can see that DB is matching, uh-oh, I have a problem. AC, okay, I think I did that wrong. Of course I did. Yeah, I should have gone along the hypotenuse next. All right, I'm sorry. Start at D, go to C, and then back to B. And now you have the matching sides together. All right, this next one has parallel lines. Anytime you see those parallel lines, you're probably going to be using that parallel lines cut by a transversal thing. And so I know that in parallel lines cut by a transversal, corresponding angles are congruent. That means that these two little angle guys right there are the same. And now I have congruent sides followed by congruent angles and then followed by congruent sides again. So the answer here is yes by side angle side. So triangle JKL is congruent to triangle, let me see, LMN. LMN. Oh, by the way, I'm going to put an asterisk next to number 6 because technically I forgot. It says side, side, side or side angle side. So yeah, actually this hypotenuse leg problem could have also been justified using side angle side. So we're going to leave it there. All right, determine if the triangles can be proved congruent if possible by side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, or hypotenuse leg. Write your answer on the line provided. All right, let's check it out. I know that these angles here are vertical angles, so we know that they match each other, they are congruent. And now notice I have angle followed by side. So these are congruent by angle, angle, side. That's one of my choices. Number 9, I have two given sides, but notice that the triangles share the third side. So this is true by side, side, side. Number 10, well, they definitely share this diagonal. They're running through it. So I have that side, side angle, y'all. So we cannot say whether or not these are congruent. And the reason is because of that side, side angle case. Side, side angle, yeah. Number 11, I have a right triangle. The hypotenuse, you remember the long side is the hypotenuse. They are congruent. And I also have a leg. So this is yes by hypotenuse leg. Number 12, remember when you have lines that cross, they form a pair of vertical angles, and vertical angles are always congruent. So notice we have a side, then an angle, then a side. So these two triangles are congruent by side, angle, side. And last, number 13. Ooh, wow. We have two sets of parallel lines. Let me see here. I know that this angle matches with this angle because they're corresponding angles for the two upper parallel lines. Then we have the other parallel. Oh yeah, I see it. I'm going to use green. This guy is going to be matching with this guy because they're corresponding angles for the other set of parallel lines. So it looks like we have, ooh, we only have angle, angle. Do I know any sides here? I have to erase my marks. I do. Okay, so I have angle and then I have, see, you can see these side marks right here. So this is yes by angle, side angle. All right, there you go. That's a review for the quiz. The quiz, of course, will be in forms. It will be mostly multiple choice, but these are the concepts that you need to learn and understand.